What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Hedera hash graph HBAR today. We're going to go over the charts. We're going to look at the charts in just a moment, but before we do, hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Okay, here we are. Looking at HBAR, we're at about 23.6 cents now, up 2% on the day already, looking like we are potentially striving to go higher from this range, right? I think what we've done is we've found support in this area, similar areas of support back here, finding support here, looking to move up. If we take a 4-hour perspective and we look at the relative low to the relative high here, you have bounced off of your 0.5. A lot of cryptos have been finding their support and resistance areas at their 0.5s recently. So that's kind of a nice look. I would say as long as you're not getting too far away from this 382, you do run the risk, or maybe not even the risk, but the possibility of going down to 21.4 cents, 20.7 cents, your golden ratio zone there at the 61869. Something in that area is still on the table. But once you get above here, when you get above the 236, I would say prices lower than this come off the table, right? Maybe you go down there first and then you get above there, whatever. But once you get above the 236, wherever your low is at the time, that likely will remain your low and you'll continue to progress from there. So your 236, just so you know, that's at 25.36 cents right there, 25.36 cents. So on a 4-hour perspective, I would just want to see one 4-hour candle get above there. That's about it, man. I want to see you close above that. If you do that, that validates this as the low and that you're moving higher. Looking at the 4-hour RSI, I gotta say, man, you look postured. Looks like you want to move to the upside. If we look at the RSI and a kind of trend, you can see you had lower highs here, lower lows there. It does appear that you're breaking out, okay? If you were to reject the 50 area, I think you would have done it on this attempt. Really, truthfully, right, if we look at this, you would have done it on this attempt, that one. Why haven't you? Because you're probably not going to. You're probably not going lower. In fact, I think you've started an uptrend already and it just doesn't look like it yet, right? Or maybe it's starting to look like it, but it's not in full fruition. I do believe we go to the overbought zone. I do believe that we see that before we see the oversold zone. So with that in mind, I truthfully don't expect that we go too much lower than this. It would have to be a very quick flash crash kind of thing, but I really do think that over the days, you're going to start working your way back up again. Again, it all starts with that 25.36 cents. Get above there, you're at 23.67 cents right now. Get above 25.36 cents, and that would likely signal that you're ready to progress higher from there. Where I would think you go if you get above 25.36 cents, I would say that your likely next target area would be something around 30 to 31 cents. Find some turbulence in that area, maybe by the end of this week, maybe by the beginning of next week, something like that. And then we go, again, finding support at the 0.5, which a lot of cryptos are doing recently. Find support there, move up higher. Your next target area would be 33.8 to 36.6 cents. When you get above this line at 36.6 cents, when you get above that there, that's how we know we're in full breakout mode. We're going to see new all-time highs, moving on from there. And what I think is going to happen whenever we do that, first and foremost, the primary target zone would be 49.7 cents to 65 cents. But when we break the 886 at 36.6 cents there, when we break that line, I think that we're not stopping until we see prices above $1. That's just my perspective. Likely $1.20 or higher, okay? Hold on. Oof. Actually, I want to bring these fibs back on there. Yeah. We'll bring the fibs back on. The lines, I guess, are on there too. Let's get rid of the lines. We'll put the weekly time frame on there. Okay, cool. So we break above the 886 at 36.6 cents. Likely that means that we are going to see these extended areas here or even beyond that, right? Something higher. If we take last cycle's all-time highs to the bear cycle lows, right? The cycle highs in September of 2021 to the bear cycle lows in December of 2022. September 2021, December 2022. When you break above this 886, which is at 41.5 cents, same kind of concept, larger fib scale, you are privy to these areas up here at $1.21 to $3.15. What I love about this is throwing both of these fibs up here, it gives us some congruence to kind of measure off of, right? If you look at this, the 2272 here, that's very, very close to the 1272. It's very common both with the 1272 and the 2272 to go just above it, right? If you're going to stop there, to wick just above it. Sometimes you wick right at the 1272, but wicking just above the 2272, stopping right at the 1272, that could be a very strong possibility for HBAR on this next move, right? And that's at about $1.10 to $1.21. That's where I personally expect that this move will stop. If it progresses higher, if you see a move higher than $1.21, likely you won't stop until $1.80 or $2.15, something just above $2 even. The 1414 lines up very well with the 2886 right here. This is kind of what I would call the money zone of this fib over here. If you break above the 1272 and you hit the 1414, it's also pretty common to go just above the 1414, and just above that is the 3113 of this fib, which that's kind of the max target. Notice how there's no lines. There's a pretty big gap in between this and this line and that line there. That's because this is the top of a zone for me, so it's a rather strong move. So if HBAR sees a strong move, we likely could see a $2.16 price. We could see that, but something around $1.80 to $2.16, that's probably our maximum kind of expectation. I think a good realistic possibility would be around $1.21, give or take a little bit right here or there, but something in that area is kind of what I'm expecting. All of that starts with the breakout of this 886 here, right? It's all implied by this, because while yes, the larger fib, you'd have to wait for 41.5 cents to be able to access these areas. When you break above 36.6 cents here on the shorter fib, that automatically already allows you to break above this fib here, above this 886 here. So 36.6 cents is the line to watch for me. You're at 23.6 cents now. I love this consolidation. I think that's a very phenomenal breakout phase. You're in this horizontal consolidation right now. It's a bull flag of sorts, whatever. When you break out, you probably see a very comparable move to the move that brought you in here. Let's just take a look from the low to a high, what that would be. Low to a high, you put it at the low there, low to the high. That takes you to about $1.80. So maybe $1.80 is more acceptable to consider. I don't know, but you're looking at some rather high market caps. You're looking at a lot of growth, exceptional growth versus the average coin in the market. HBAR is not your average coin. It definitely does deserve these targets, and I think it's capable of doing that. But it's completely possible, even though the bull flag that is there at about $1.80, and I'm sure a lot of people are probably calling for that. I do want to make people aware that $1.20 really could be an area to find resistance. That doesn't mean sell all your HBARs there. It certainly could, and it has a decent chance to go higher. In fact, the measure move of this pattern would dictate that it goes to $1.80 or around there. But I'm just saying I expect $1.20 at least, $1.21, somewhere in that area, okay? Looking at the weekly RSI, I like where you're at. You got overbought. Hold on. I don't know. My voice is gone now. It's all gone. There we go. I had to clear my voice out. Overbought. Now you're not. Last year, 2023, December 2023, you got overbought, and then when you weren't, you found support right at the 50, and then you moved up again. Here, you're not right at the 50, but you're basically in that same area, right? Just like here, you didn't find support right at the 50, but same area, give or take a little bit below the 50, give or take a little bit above the 50 here. You're at that point where it would make the most sense, in my opinion, to bounce and find support. You found support back here in this area. You found support a little bit above it here, a little bit above it here, a little bit of resistance in that area, a little bit of resistance here and here, a little bit of support in this area. It makes sense. This is a pretty significant area on the weekly time frame that you probably do turn things around, and we would expect that or see that happening if this week can close green. So while yes, we have the prospects, the ideas, the hopes and aspirations to close above 36.6 cents for HBAR, that will ignite and just commence all of this moves, all the movements that would take us above $1, right? Potentially even above $2. While we're excited for that, I think first things first, let's get this week to close green. Why not do both? Close this week green and close above 36.6 cents, whatever. But get this week to close green, make it look like you're bouncing out of this area on the weekly RSI. That would be really nice, because at that point, you're looking to get overbought again. And I don't know about you guys, but the last time that you made a move that got you overbought, it was pretty damn spectacular, if I say so myself. Even the time before that, it pales in comparison to this, but look at what you did in a month's time here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks later, you're up 84%. 5 weeks later, 106%, right? And that was when you got overbought there as well. Here, you're getting overbought from this candle, from this low here to that high. 6 weeks later, you're up 75%. So even on these smaller ones, I mean, if it's nothing like this, that's disappointing. But even at the disappointing aspects, you're still going to see probably new all-time highs, right? And I would think seeing new all-time highs, seeing higher highs than this, it implicates a lot more growth to come. So I've got nothing else to say. I think I've said everything that I need to say. A 4-hour time frame looks good. 1-hour time frame looks good as well. Somewhat volatile, but somewhat neutral, but with a more bullish look. And the daily time frame, 3-day time frame, and the weekly time frames, they all look like they're geared up and ready to go, man. All you're looking for is just confirmation to break above. I think it was 36.6 cents, right? Wasn't it 36.6? Would it be? Let me see. What would it have been? It would have been this high to low here. 36.6 cents. Yes, sir. That's the one. Yep. Anyways, guys, that's all I got. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Bye.